What are your thoughts between Ravens and Chiefs?
At the beginning of the year, we both actually picked the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
I don't know how you ever count Patrick Mahomes out. And we, you just heard my stats in the playoffs. I mean, the dude is just on another level. And he really played that way this game. I don't think, however, the Ravens defense is going to fall for some of the shenanigans that he pulled. Like what was that? Like he was 2 yards past the line of scrimmage and was pump faking. Like, Patrick Queen or Roquan Smith is just going to run right through him. Like they're not going to be fazed by that. And the Ravens, I mean, their defense is I mean, it could possibly be their best defense that the Ravens have ever had. And we all know defense wins championships, and people love to argue that. People love to say, whoa. No, when it comes playoff time, when every turnover matters, when every third down matters, defense is the one that's going to get you there. Your offense wouldn't have to put up 40 points when you have a defense that's able to shut them down. I just don't know where the offense. I don't know how the Chiefs overcome that defense. I don't. There's name a player on that team that outside of Kelsey that is going to beat that team. Is Isaiah Pacheco really going to do that? Like I don't think the Ravens are going to be afraid of Isaiah Pacheco. I know they're not going to be afraid of Mecole Hardman. I know they're not going to be, afraid of, the other tight end there for the Chiefs, Noah Gray, I believe. You just have to worry about Mahomes.
Yeah.
You have to worry about Mahomes. He's not going to be able to scramble like he wants to, to extend those plays. I mean, the Ravens lead the league in sacks. I mean, they get pressure, and I just don't know that they're going to have enough. And it's tough for me to say, because on the other hand, I think this is the best championship window Chiefs defense that they've ever had. So it's going to be, that big matchup. Can the Ravens offense match up with the Chiefs defense? I think there's just way more playmakers on the Ravens side on that offense. I think this is going to be a close one-score game, but I think Baltimore's probably more likely going to pull this one out.
Well, that means a lot coming from you. I know.
It hurts me to say.
I'm
going to go tie a rope somewhere here after the show.
Well, look, I mean, obviously, I literally just got done talking about how I'd never bet against Patrick Mahomes, right? Because of those reasons that I always give, right? Best coach, best quarterback. You look across there, though, the depth of talent, not just the surface level talent, the depth of talent that the Ravens have makes it incredibly difficult. And, you mentioned the Ravens defense. So they're the first team in history to lead the league in points allowed, sacks, and takeaways. Now, what are the things you would want to be able to do and accomplish if you're playing against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs? You're going to want to be able to sack him or minimally be able to get plenty of quarterback pressure, right? That's obviously going to be an important part. You're going to want to limit the points that they score. And then you need to be able to force some turnovers to hopefully give yourself some extra possessions and get their offense off the field. Those are the three things that we just said that the Ravens have done not only really well this year, better than any team has ever done them. So it seems like what the Ravens do really well is perfectly playing into what the Chiefs would want to do against them. It's not like a thing where if you say the Ravens have this incredibly dominant run defense, like, yeah, okay, well, fine, but Patrick Mahomes can throw all over you, right? It's like that's not the situation here. So, look, I don't think it's a walk in the park by any stretch.
No.
It can't be when you're playing against Kansas City. Andy Reid's too good, Patrick Mahomes is too good, and they know how to win. This is the thing beyond X's and O's, roster spots and everything else, the thing that is the biggest challenge in this game, if you're Baltimore, is that Kansas City has been to 6 straight AFC Championship games. That is a ridiculous stat. So to you, if you're the Ravens, this is huge. This is the AFC Championship game. You're 1 game away from the Super Bowl. If you're the Chiefs, this is where you are every single year for 6 straight years. Regardless of the man, think how different the roster looks. Think how different the players look, right? There are a few that are still there, right? Patrick Mahomes is still there. Travis Kelce's still there. There are a few, but there's a lot that aren't there anymore, and it doesn't matter. So, I look at it like, and the Ravens have never had success against the Chiefs, but that was a long time ago. The last time that the Ravens played the Chiefs, the list of guys on that Ravens roster was very, very, very different than what it is right now. And so I do feel like it's a different time with a different team. I think if the Ravens play their game, they can absolutely win this game. If the Ravens play when they're at their best, like if they really play their game, there isn't anyone that can beat them. That doesn't mean that they're going to play their best, and that's always the concern. But I think the Ravens can and arguably should win this game. But it's the Chiefs, man.
How about if they start like they did last week? Do you think they can overcome something like that? They scored 10 points in the first half.
The only reason I would say yes is because I don't anticipate Kansas City putting up 30 in the first half or anything. Right? So I do think that even if the Ravens only score 10, I just don't think, and I hope that I'm not wrong, but I don't think that the Chiefs are going to go out and just run up a crazy score. And so I still feel like that means it's going to be a very competitive game. And if it's a competitive game at halftime, I feel like it gets really interesting. Because everything that I said last week about how when you're playing that Ravens defense, the longer the time goes, the higher the likelihood you're going to make a mistake. The same can also go for Patrick Mahomes, that the longer you're playing him, the greater the likelihood he's going to make some stupidly impressive play that's going to really frustrate you. So I think the key to the Ravens winning the game is going to be total discipline on their defense. Like, they have to be very disciplined. There are going to be things that are going to frustrate you. There are going to be things that you're going to think are bad calls. All those types of things are going to happen. They have to be able to play really, really, really disciplined. If they do that, I think they win. I think the only thing that can have them lose this game is if the defense kind of gets on tilt, starts playing a little too emotionally. I think that's where it can create problems for them.
Yeah. I'm going to say this probably comes down to a field goal. That's probably how I see it. I think it's just going to be a tight contest throughout, and it's just going to be who blinks first, who makes the mistake first. I don't think you're going to get the interceptions out of Mahomes, but you for sure can get the ball out of one of those receivers' hands. Time and time again, you can get that out of their hands. So,
yeah. I don't know. It's going to be a good one, man. And I'll say this. I was talking with our buddy T-Rock. I said, that if the Ravens make the Super Bowl this year, they will have earned it. And this isn't a cakewalk. I do feel like the Niners making it, this has been a particularly easy year for them. They played against a 7-seed Packers team, and then they have Detroit. Like, those are 2 games that 99 times out of 100, regular season, postseason, anything else, you would say, yeah, Niners are going to win those games. And then they're home games for them as well. So, I just feel like they've gotten there. This has been a good year for them. It's a terrible year for the Eagles. Obviously, Dallas got bounced early. So the Niners haven't truly been challenged in the way that they ordinarily would be. If the Ravens manage to beat the Chiefs, and I'll flip that the other way too. If the Chiefs manage to beat the Ravens, they will have definitely earned it.
Yeah.
Right? Going into Buffalo, beating Buffalo, going into Baltimore, beating Baltimore to get into the Super Bowl, yeah, you earned it, man. So everyone, whoever gets in on the AFC side, they will have earned their stripes to get there.